Special to send out Jerry, then neutral special 3 times to send out tennis balls, then fully charge a light neutral. If you're close enough to Jerry, you will also hit a court. This Tom and Jerry combo is so toxic. Neutral special to send out Jerry, then neutral special 3 times to send out tennis balls, then fully charge a light neutral. If you're close enough to Jerry, you will also hit a court. This Tom and Jerry combo is so toxic. Neutral special. Send out Jerry, then neutral special 3 times to send. This Tom and Jerry combo. You also have your 2024.
What's up, guys? If you don't know, I'm kind of a big Jerry fan. Both in MultiVersus and on MultiVersus. And the game's been out long enough, I've decided to do it. So, this is the guy how to play Jerry. It's basically you exactly. You should be using what you should be using them. Why? Like setups, cool combos, not cool combos, really cool combos, and everything is well, the team first, the team comes. So first things first.
The cat and mouse are in league with our cool. Strange. I can feel the power. This is it.
So, this map board is your best people. It has been projected for a long time. If you hit any board hit, you usually try to get a combo of it. There's 2 ways to get the wall. One, if you let the last thing happen, which if you let the last thing happen, it's lighter. Or you can get the bear.
Oh my god, bro.
The thing is, you can cancel it by jumping. By the way, I was grounded. So with cancel by jumping, you kind of get a bunch of different combos and something like this. Usually, if you have not let it finish, you can usually get the spider. You can't get but I think it's a little slow. I don't know. Yeah, being able to get the cancel panels into the situation.
Thomas Cast, open your eyes. You're being manipulated.
To coach anybody. The next best thing to follow is try and
I am not afraid.
Jerry classic. Jerry, you've ever heard of both of this? It is, I think, a great moves to twist fighters. Jerry is an expert player behind these three. Not only that, projectiles and able to hopefully clear.
Why didn't that bomb go off? How does that kill?
Carry shot. So the big thing with the carry shot is you want to shoot it down. That way you can get a ton of round bounce. If you're not really sure how I'm doing the carry shot is special.
Whoa.
In settings, I have mine on upper, so I can jump.
I dodged that.
Triangle, one finger, and then I look down, and I can shoot carry shot. So just get quick and easy, angles down. Mistakes that really go strong. You can even go from the carry shot to the paddle with honestly, if you're not doing that, again, paddle is one of your greatest. So, this in mind, carry shot being like as good as it is, it's a pretty good way to open up neutral. You don't really want to walk into neutral right now. Carry shot is a little more sensitive.
Bitch.
You're putting Jerry in danger, which is perfectly fine. You're gonna have to put Jerry in some danger if you want to benefit. So lastly, the last combo.
He thought he was finna win. Dick as fuck, he just lost that.
And is aerial down attack. This paddle move is probably your best combo move in existence. It has a ton of hits, it's active for a long time. If you hit any part of it, you can usually try to get a combo off of it. There's two ways to combo off the paddle. One is you let the last hit happen, which if you let the last hit happen, you can get side air, or you can get up air. A little DI dependent, so you might have to react. But the super OP thing is you can cancel it by jumping. You can get a confirm off of this. By the way, the grounded up attack. So this is up when you're grounded. So if you cancel it by jumping, you kind of get a bunch of different combos, even something like this. While normally, if you happen to let it finish, you can usually only get the side air or the up air. You can get a rocket sometimes, but as you can tell, it's like a little slower, kind of not really worth going for. But yeah, being able to get a canceled paddle into the rocket actually leads into some pretty sick situations, making it to where Tom can just kind of use this to combo anybody in the camp. The next best thing to combo with is the Try and Tom and Jerry classic Jerry. If you've ever heard me talk about this move, it is what I think is one of the greatest moves to exist in fighters. Jerry is active all the entire time. He's flying. Not only that, projectiles when he's able to where he will fly right from the momentum is. So if you notice, if I do like this paddle, if I counter Jerry shot, Chad will go down. Do the paddle, horizontal Jerry shot, and he goes side.
Make this a summer to share. Capable of techniques. Visit your local theater. Release the new 2024 Frontal Allen.
Not making that mistake again.
Even your walls.
And there is even special line and settings. I have mine set to I can jump with my and then I hold down. And I can shoot Jerry shot with. But you can just get quick and easy, angle down, ground bounce, which makes it really strong. You can even go from the. That way you can get this when it confirms off the ground bounce. If you're not really sure how I'm doing this, Jerry shot is usually special. And so, the big thing with Jerry shot is you want to shoot it down. That way you can get like bounce. Not really sure how I'm doing this. Jerry Shaw is neutral special, and there is a neutral special line in settings. I have mine set up my triangle, and then I hold down, and I just shoot Jerry Shaw. So you can just get quick and easy, angle down.
Not making that mistake again.
You even go for the Jerry Shaw into the paddle, which honestly, if you're not doing that, you should be doing that. Because again, paddle is just one of your greatest. So, doesn't mind Jerry Shaw being like as good as this. It's a pretty good way to open up new worlds.
That like barely hurts.
Instead, you can hit it from these kind of angles. Okay, it's a projectile, so you're putting yourself in danger. You're putting Jerry in danger. It's perfectly fine. You're gonna put Jerry in some danger if you want to benefit from the character. So lastly, the last combo move is Tom. Again, Jerry's down attack. Very, very good button. If you've never seen MultiVersus footage, you know that this it's just totally screwed. It's hands on aerial down attack. Very, very good button. If you've never seen old MultiVersus footage, you know that this is just totally screwed. It's the world of me and Jerry. If you've never seen it, you should know which move is. Not this move. It kind of doesn't know as well as it used to. You get somebody with it, it's really hard to plan words. So you can't do like and jumps the thing. You can't simply just float do and to like Jerry Shaw. That's really common. Everything there and Jerry Shaw. And those three are your biggest. I mean, let me show you some examples. So that does work. Right? Kind of a nice little mini loop. To actually work is what I would say with Jerry today. That was maybe that worked down here. So I think definitely try it out. That is also new. You can jump down to the floor. Here. Let's go to the good one. Alright, just for some examples, give you something in your mind to think about. Now, that could be a little this could be just really, really light, maybe you can always do like this to the side here.
You can't stop me that easy.
Another thing you can do is you just grab you want to get to the last hit. You can jam. Now, doesn't seem that good. I don't think Tom jam into your ground you can count with this little pounds. And this little pound will be one of your biggest moves. Look how many said that one. Being able to have an option on hitting the paddle, pretty good. When it comes to killing, it's
Come on, man. No fair.
personally, kind of shows this where you have to do a paddle into the cheap carry and create a jump here. And I'm not on this can hurt usually. And take the off. You don't love me very important close to shaggy. Instead, I don't like something like this. Which it can work. It can happen to me like the eye hit. this clear will always recover high. Ooh. So Tom kind of just has a great move to be under people, and a great move to be over people. There's one thing he does have, like you said, edge guarding. You can always try to use Jerry to like set up edge guards. Or you can just try to do like a run projectiles. Tom projectiles are really strong. Right? You can make people jump. You try to force them into like a weird spot, make them go low.
Which layer build the team consistently.
The multi-damage state, I think it's pretty simple. And because you have such big buttons, it's just make sure you're not running around like this. I think it's the biggest thing that I can get. But if you run like this, it's a pretty good move. It does combo into like literally everything. But if you use it, you're stuck for so long. And if you miss the initial hit, it's really hard to hit a lot of characters. That's surprising that hit. Just make sure you're basically neutral, which again, being neutral is really good. Personally, I like to put Daryl on. A lot of characters in this game are very strong. Like Shaggy. Shaggy might be like a Shaggy pick, or maybe even a Jag. And I think it's a lot better to be above people in comparison to being on the side of them. It's not horizontal options are not that good. Vertical options are really good. So try your best to be above people, find a way to open up neutral, and then just work from there. So when it comes to covering people on the edge, some people are covered low like this, right? This happens a lot. So let's put a mouse trap here. If they're at kill percent, just put a mouse trap there. They're gonna get hit by it. It's really hard to go through waves. If you have Gary, put a mouse trap there and do this. If they go around the mouse trap, they're gonna get hit by you. Gary spotting them, and if you get hit by the mouse trap, you just dodge. You just dodge just to try to catch them. Mousetrap does have a few uses, and I think that's the best. So make sure to use it if you have a lot of space in your So disadvantage. Light is really, really bad. Tom sucks when he gets it. So you get hit off stage as Tom, there's a few ways to recover. Right? One thing to note, always try to use attacks to stall your fall. If you don't use attacks to stall your fall, you will probably die a lot sooner than you want to.
Oh, grandma's house.
Just this way, you can do a lot more options. So if you know about that, then you can go layer 2. Layer 2, Dynamite stalls you a lot, and it gives you a projectile fight back then. This is a lot better.
The cat and mouse are indeed with a cool. Strange.
Other things, if you don't know, you can always do like auto attacks. Auto attack will give you a good amount of momentum. It'll make it so you can recover pretty nicely. If you notice, like the distance dodges that goes, do very different things. Make sure to mix in auto attacks with the recovery, and being recovery, you still have one. It's really good. Another way to use your momentum or use your fear, albeit sometimes you can follow you. So don't do it alone. There's a few other things Tom can do. This one's really important. Tom has 2 specials when it comes to character. The tennis ball will reset your momentum every time. So if you're kind of worried, say, oh man, I use both my jump. I use both my dodges. I'm a little worried I can't make it back to the stage. Tennis ball, make it mad, depending on how many you have. Depends on how far you go. That's not really important. I think take those math, get it staged.
Thomas Cast, open your eyes. You're being manipulated.
Take momentum. Like launch fire. Really good. Really good. You make really, really good. Right? So here, also really good. You get the momentum. Waste of keeps them down there. Really bad. Don't launch that down air. Even towards the
Match point to red.
you used to be over here, and you don't do any jumps. You're trying to use your dodge as like a feat. You know, you can dodge and still attack a bit. Last thing to note is this is really get a dodge attack, that's pretty really good. Get a lot of so, being like, you point right into the game, and you're not free. Fishing rod is good for recovering, but a lot worse than what it used to be. The thing about fishing rod is you can't cancel it, and while it does like have a hitbox like kind of high, so if somebody's near the ledge, you might be able to hit them. Tom will always travel in roughly the same like trajectory. He'll always go like a very short amount of distance horizontally, a little under the fishing rod. So a lot of people, if they are edge guarding you, it can be because you're giving them a free chance with fishing rod. I think if you have nobody next to you, going for a fishing rod is pretty worth it. Otherwise, I don't think it's too hot. So I'm not a big fishing rod guy. I think everything I mentioned before is a lot more important. So take note of that. I could be wrong. There's a fishing rod perk that helps a lot with recovering specifically, but I feel like it runs into the same issues. I can't cancel fishing rods, so as soon as I throw it out,
Good to go.
And we are good to go.
good to go. Good to go.
With great gas and great deals. When you start with Stitgo, you're good to go.
Welcome to Vigo, where connections come alive. Anytime, anywhere. Download Vigo now and embark on an immersive live streaming experience like never before. Vigo, Vigo!
I have to travel that trajectory. Okay, so the next thing is movement. I think movement with Tom is pretty strange. I mentioned it earlier. I don't think Tom's ground movement is very, very good. He has pretty good stats. I think him moving left and right is good. But the idea is that I don't really have very many threats when it comes to ground movement. So I'm not a fan of Tom being on the ground. Especially a lot of characters in this game have really good jabs. Tom's jab isn't that good. It's really big. It's good in twos, but I've had situations where my jab 2 just doesn't connect. And I think a big part of that, like, this move has a lot of setup. This move's pretty good. And this move is mainly for reflecting tennis balls. So I think Tom's ground movement in general, the stats itself is really good, but everything around it I think is pretty bad. So I think it's better to not really move on the ground. Being in the air, a lot more solid. So I would say just get more comfortable moving in the air, just in general. And I do have a few movement tricks. One thing, Tom's jumps aren't that good. So I actually like using my dodges as like a third jump. Because it's a good bait. Like, oh no, I don't have any of my jumps left. Well, let me dodge up. For some other characters, I don't think it would be worth it. But again, Tom's best moves, in my opinion, are his downwards moves. So it's good for Tom to be above people. So try to use your dodges as like a pseudo third jump. In my opinion, I think it's pretty good. Not only that,
You like that
using
dub?
your dodges to find
You like that
down
dub?
air is really important. But Void, you told us not to dodge attack down air, right? Let's say I'm right here, like left foot on this line, and I go for attack goes versus distance and dodge goes. Two very different things. Make sure to mix in dodge attacks when it comes to recovering. And 3, always remember you still have dodge jumps. Dodge jumps are still really good. Another way to use your momentum or use your meter, albeit sometimes you can just blow up, so don't do it all the time. There's a few other things Tom can do. This one's really important. Tom only has 2 specials, like a typical character, but Tennis Ball will reset your momentum every time you use it. So if you're kind of worried, let's say, oh man, I used both of my jumps.
But they speed running the process, so it'll be by next week.
But I'm
But
a little worried I can't make it back
that'll
to the
work
stage.
perfect for the time being as far as like
Tennis Ball will
alternating,
make it
because
back,
when I
depending on
finish a
how many you
load,
have, I mean,
I have a set
depends
amount
on
of
how far you-
loads.
So that
If
stuff
they don't
is
have anything
pretty
in addition,
important.
I can come back. So when I'm back,
because it
I can
saved
do
my
that.
life way more times than I can. The other
And then
really
some days I'm
important
just
thing,
plain
which
off
is something
because
that I've
I
been
only
doing
work
a
like
lot,
5 days
take note
a
of
week.
which
So for
attacks
2 of those,
cause
I'll make for the
retain
weekdays.
momentum off of dodge
So I
attack.
can leave you
So
on
like
him
dodge side
that
air,
entire
really
day.
good,
So you should be,
really good. It makes it so
you should aim
offense
with your
scoring
grandma. So you'll have
really,
plenty
really
of
good,
space.
right? Up air, also really good. He keeps the momentum not as much as side air, but he still keeps a lot of it. Down air, really bad. Don't dodge attacks down air if you want to recover, or even to a degree like chasing people a lot. Not that good. Don't do that. If you happen to be over here
A lot easier
and
between
you don't
calls.
have
You can
any jumps,
just
you can try to
give
use your
Poopy some mental
dodges as
stimulation,
like a jump.
show
You know, you
face,
can dodge.
check on him, talk to your grandma.
This is really important.
Chill.
If you do a dodge,
You did such a good job with shutting him off. It's only so much you can do, and then I took anything of value that he could damage. So it's really
that
only so much you can do. I'm gonna take that playpen out today. I just got to figure out where to put that stuff,
worried about being like super
and then that room should be available to him. But we don't want to give him too much real estate because it's cutting into ours. We don't have space as it is. That's why it goes back to that room back there. We probably should have just used it as our room for computer stuff and just gave him the living room, because now we're pushing everything this way, and we already flooded this way. So we might have to make that your office completely, and let him have the entire living room, because it ain't nowhere to put all this shit. So you did a good job. Like, as he gets older, he can go into his room more. We kind of bed training him right now, which is dope. So once he gets comfortable going to his own bed, he'll be money.
That mouse is the ring. He must be stopped. Lightning speed. Like what? Point to red.
It makes it so you can actually use down here. I think all the really good ways to use meters do endless. On a grid, go back to the fact that, you know, tennis balls are really good to stall your momentum. You don't have a bunch of inbound, you can't dodge through, but you try to find your openings when you can. Dynamite being out is really solid. It kind of just stalls. A lot of people wait for it. You can just use Dynamite to buy time, nothing wrong with that. And again, using a tennis ball when you're just above somebody. Speaking of tennis balls, let's go into tennis ball setups. So tennis ball has a very specific amount of setups. Not really. It's pretty free flowy. You can just find it out as much as you can. The main gist: shoot a tennis ball when Jerry is out. Jerry will hit it, and then you hit with your neutral attack. They're not crazy fast, but the threat is that you can send out a ton. So, you know, let's say I have Jerry right here, right? You send out 3, send out 4, you can send out a bunch. But the way to get them is pretty important. One thing I like doing, if you just shoot Jerry right in front of you and you do 2, you can get 3. If you shoot Jerry in front of you, like kind of down, 2 tennis balls, do 1 racket, and then do 2 rackets. Pretty simple setup. You can even do it with just 1 tennis ball. Just that way you get 1 on the first one, and then you get 2 on the second one. Very solid. Have you noticed I'm reflecting more than just the tennis balls? When Jerry is out, he has these quirks. On his own, he has 3. If he's attached to a teammate, he gets 5. So this will happen every time you send him out. And the thing about these quirks is they are reflective. Jerry will also constantly hit any tennis ball he runs into. So if you don't want to send the tennis ball out immediately, you just want to have Jerry play ping pong with himself, you can do that. I like doing up special in the air. This little rocket, because if you do this little rocket and you shoot tennis balls at him, they all kind of land pretty around the same time. So you can get like pretty simple, like triple tennis ball setups. Very differing heights. There's a lot that goes on there. That's definitely my favorite setup when it comes to using tennis balls. Super simple. You can use all your tennis balls at once, so you don't have to worry about like, oh, yo, I still have 2, so let's try setting up again. Not like that. Literally, just do this. Just try to get all of them. See what you can get. This is where Tom's strength lies. Tom's strength, in my opinion, lies in his ability to push people horizontally. With Jerry shot, tennis balls, dynamite, and of course, those. So if you have good tennis ball setups, you can play pretty far back, which ultimately, you know, playing pretty far back will even open up using Fisher Rod. So Fisher Rod has a few things to it. One, if I'm not mistaken, it does more the farther you are from the opponent. So if you can get really far fishing rods, super worth. But the thing with that, it moves based on how you hold it. So if you throw the fishing rod out, you hold back, it doesn't go that far. You hold forward, it goes really far. Also, now the big thing about fishing rods, if you hit something, it moves based on how you hold it. So if you throw the fishing rod out, you hold back, it doesn't go that far. You hold forward, it goes really far. Awesome. Now the big thing about fishing rod, if you hit somebody with it, it's not that good. It's not that good. So you know it's doing 7% or 8%, it's not that good. But when you reel in, you see how there's that little area around the fishing rod, right? It's literally like the fishing mini game. If you reel in, it's super. So if you're ever trying to do fishing rod stuff, you know, 100% try to build your space. I'm always trying to get the real one. Last thing about fishing rod, it pulls back here. You guys noticed? It pulls back here. And I've been trying to do this lately. Like the rocket into the Jerry. But if you try to get the fishing rod too, you can go a high angle. You can go a low angle. And there's a chance you can get Jerry back. Very deal. You get it once. It's really not. That's crap. Okay, I talked about Will's crap earlier. About to get more to life. I think Will's crap is really, really bad. Let me show you guys the stuff. good. It's all the combo that I was telling you guys earlier. Pretty good build, right? Just it's actually pretty insane. It kills really early. It's just really hard to cast it. You need to be able to hit like and you're it's got people very, very and these big next to it. You just do it. And this. Do you like that? Aim the Jerry shot, shoot them in the bounce trap. That would be not again, really situational. But I think the situation works good. It's really good. But it just takes that I would recommend use it if you have much space in the hole. When the Jerry strikes, I think everyone people say, you never see like a few Jerry snipes. Because Jerry snipes, they're a big difference of like a really good song and not really good song. Because the first that you can do with the Jerry is just really off the side. Very big deal. Very, very big deal. If you don't know Jerry, it's really good. He doesn't actually, like, you lose one of his massive options. He doesn't have that many options with almost at least in, like, the earlier sense. People can rush him down really easily because he doesn't have a good jab, a good slider. Bad. But you don't have to. So don't set Jerry out there. There is something that I have been doing lately that if you see an opponent hovering below and you have a win time with this jump, it's just this jump, that's it. You do this jump and you angle Jerry like that. That way Jerry has a pretty constant spike hitbox the whole way down, and you can score a lot of really kills with that. If you don't get a kill with the banked Jerry shot, then you can just combo with it. Right? Those are a few things that I would recommend learning. Mainly with that. And go for snipes.
The cat and mouse are in league with our cool. Strange.
Really good. And you just get one good read, and you just get a good snipe. It would be really good. Again, I said at the beginning, I think a big part of late's on is when you hit the thing, and it goes awesome. And everything in between, you feel like you got a big read. It's going to be talking about really good. And exchanging single dynamite,
Ready to strike!
is really good. I think it's amazing, especially when you're fighting fair.
Thomas cards.
A few things
But
with
your eyes, you're being manipulated.
do this nice little dog game. Conveniently, when I start talking more racket, I think it's pretty cool to use effectively. Not only that, it goes a step distance, so it's much more like a close range in comparison to a long range. Dynamite is really good at its advantage, and of course, so
Match point to blue.
right?
This
And it's really hard to hit hard. It has the dynamics next to you. So I think the dynamite is really good. However, you can't use it in without using it very successfully. If you like what's happening, with that being said, I've been using a lot of angle. Now, we don't use these dynamite, you get 1, 2, 3 uses. So you get 3 training single dynamite as well. And the only thing in comparison to single dynamite is nice step. Hypothetically, it could fly it's the last one. And most of the time it does. But it will explode after it bounces twice.
Match point to red.
1, 2. So you just see how much distance it covers. Like I'm all the way on the opposite side of the stage. Like you can lock me.
Justice victory.
Sometimes I just don't have to use instead of Jerry to do one of Jerry projectiles. It takes a lot longer because it comes out as active. But single dynamite, it lets me be active while I'm falling. You can't really set up Jerry while you're falling. You have to be in very specific spots. You know? Single dynamite is very good when it comes to being more active while zoning, being good when you're at disadvantage because you have a lot more ammo, you have a lot more opportunities to try to cover, and it's really covers a lot less than dynamite. You still cover the spot that you want to, it's just not as like big, but it gets the job done. Other perks in general, I think Tom kind of works really well with a lot of perks, but that's Flammable Dog is really overpowered. If you don't know, it's Flammable Dog actually currently works on tennis balls before you reflect them. So that makes your normal tennis balls a lot stronger. So I think that's definitely the perk for the first slot for Tom. Virtually no matter what. I've tried a few other things. I don't think it's really worth it for him. Middle perk, I like Live Stand because I just like staying alive as him. He's a very light character, but he just played back really well. But collateral damage is a little better for Tom's combos. It involves a lot of like ground bouncing. I think collateral damage is really good. I haven't found any usage for arrow hunger. It's called Tom's grounded attacks, which is not good. Dash attack breaking armor could be good in some situations, but Tom's grounded down attack is good enough. But I would say one of these three, either collateral damage, last stand, or speed force assist, as having more speed is always a good thing. And the third perk, I like Pugilist, just because a lot of my kill moves are melee. The ultimate moves that you kill people with are melee. There's not something that buff projectiles, otherwise maybe you might take that. But some of the other things might become a little more meta. Fully charged attacks breaking armor, I don't think it's good unless it counts me fully charging a racket to reflect a projectile, which I don't think it does. And for the electric perk, you're not really on the ground very long. This could be good. I've been trying to lab it out. The refresh ball air abilities perk, but ultimately I just think having stronger melee attacks is the answer. And lastly, let's go back and let's talk about team comps. A lot of the things that I mentioned, it was a bit of ones, a bit of twos. You can use it in both. And the thing that makes the Tom comp strong, in my opinion, and the thing that makes the Tom comp
Perfectly predictable. Time to exact some justice. Way too red. That's my target.
I have interested these guys money. They give these guys money. So without further franchises, that is sniper to be
Defeated. Yeah. Could have been cleaner, but I'll take it.
because it's so electric. That I just think I need to keep it to myself. I don't know. Should I show y'all? Somebody put one in the chat.
Perfectly predictable. No hesitation.
If you want to see something electric, boogie, put a one in the chat. Don't laugh. Put your movies in there. If you want to see something, it's a boogie, then you let me know. If you rather not see something electric,
I will not let the cat and mouse get killed.
You got it right with you. Yeah, I'm a couple seconds. Chat. Since I'm thinking chat, I'm thinking it's just y'all need a chat, and I'm reading in my hand. It's so don't be definitely salute. So you
Eyes open. Way too red.
You see that? You see these little fingers that uplifted up now they have yeah, that's what you do. What do you think? Well, look at it. I'm talking about it. Like, you know, sleep. You don't see them. You be like, come on, man. Don't come on, man. But yeah, look, they asked you. Yeah, this is after with those shots. Right. So yeah, this is the most interesting thing you'll see. Now, making you shade that toenail down and get some of the bunnies on top of the shade that down, shade down a little bit, and make it smooth.
Yeah.
And yeah,
You performed well.
Oh, you want the big reveal? Oh man, hold up. Yeah, I got all my cool big time. Yeah, grass things and all. I'm gonna get the truck cleaned up. I'm gonna get that done. But yeah, I got all my toes. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and then it's all like 1, 3, 4, 5. And they all and they all that's why I had this on the surgery. That way they bust open this ankle. That way I look like I have to get skin. They bust that open from there. Bust open down there. Yeah. And then I got the pin for the other side. I got the pin for that side. So that's a big ass steel rod. Right there. I like Stephen A. I can show my rod. Shit, that's true. What you doing now? Many of you just get, it's going to get more beautiful when you don't keep on looking at it. There's some dingy balance that makes you learn that balance. So give it all that I told you. Yeah, because you get it. I don't want to balance. They need to walk that down. They need to walk that. They need to walk 1, 2, 3. Yeah. They need to walk that. Up the nail, and then we'll go from there. But right now, I'm gonna do this thing, you know what I'm saying? Because I really believe that these niggas can be bad. If I see my feet in any one of these niggas' down, if I see my ankles in my feet, any one of them, made sure they was good as Ashley, and I'm gonna do a round. See, the thing about you niggas, y'all done. So what you niggas told you, you still. Hey, look. I think this will go viral. And then I'm gonna let y'all see it again.
Since 2009. The first rapper I ever started listening to actually was Lil Wayne, and when he released the first Lil Wayne was the best rapper of all time, and I wholeheartedly believe it. So when he signed Drake to Young Money, they go on to record dozens of songs together. I believe that Drake was next. He would one day take over from Wayne and be the most popular, most weird rapper. I never said this out loud to anyone besides me at the time, but in a way, I think I was right. I think it's fair to argue that Drake would ultimately become even more famous than Lil Wayne. Never the better rapper, but like a bigger star, and I felt so validated. It's one of the things that I take a lot of pride in, is being right about people that I see a lot of potential in, like musician, celebrity, or otherwise. And I've been following Drake for the past decade and a half. Since his first album, all the way through now, I would say I am a fan of Drake's music. But then, this year, the funniest thing happened. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Back in April of 2024, as the avid Drake fan that I am, I came across Drake's song Push-Ups, his first official diss towards Kendrick Lamar. And what you're about to hear is me detailing the events leading up to that song's release and talking about it in a very glowing fashion, just not knowing what was going to come next.
So J. Cole comes into this song with a lot of energy. About how he's not the 3, he's not the 2, he's actually the 1. I want you to keep that in mind. Just write that down, make a note of it, just lock it away, just think about that. He's not 3, he's not 2. Okay. Ever since he was good, back to the child. The verses be terrible, like terrible twos. You can just want to make sure that I'm giving enough like context and feedback. So it's not like you're just tuning into a podcast and listen to somebody else's song. This year. I don't want what happens.
And Morty running from light zoning because he can't hit you is the most ironic shit on the planet Earth.
There's a lot of stuff here that's gonna be very important later. Drake is making it known that when people were debating who the GOAT is, the greatest of all time when it comes to rappers, hip-hop, etc., it's really just between him and J. Cole. Interesting. It ain't no fun for me. Still in this bitch getting bigger. They waiting on the kid to come drop like a father to be. Now when they argue, the hardest MC. SNK died as it for me. He the big 3 like we started to leave. I just wanted to highlight that moment. Because that moment, SNK died as it for me. He the big 3 like we started to leave. Did not sit well with one Kendrick Lamar Duckworth. So it goes without saying that the biggest 3 names in rap or hip-hop in the past decade has been Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and Drake. Drake clearly has the most commercial success. Kendrick Lamar clearly has the most critical acclaim. J. Cole seems to have a great deal of respect. What do they call Dirty Bear? As far as a rapper that has displayed a good amount of longevity, technical skill, and success when it comes to rap albums that have minimal, no features. J. Cole has shown a great deal of talent and success since his breakout album 2014 Forest Hill Drives, which of course came out in 2014, all the way through present day. So for the past decade, J. Cole has been one of the top artists in the game. It goes without saying that Drake has been a big deal ever since Take Care, one of my favorite rap albums, dropped in 2011. That was 13 years ago. We're talking Obama's first term. Drake was a very big deal with songs like Headlines and Take Care, Rihanna, and Marvin, just to name a few. All the way up until Nothing Was the Same, and songs like Started Bottom. And then, if you're reading this late, songs like Energy and 10 Bands that tamed Future, who we'll talk about later. 2016 with Views had One Dance on it, which isn't a rap song, but was listened to, I don't know, maybe 1 billion times or so. So we're talking 2011 to 2016. That's 5 years right there. 2018, Scorpion comes out. Nice for what? God's Plan. Another couple billion listens. So Drake, it goes without saying, really big deal. Kendrick Lamar, I mean, to drop back-to-back classic albums. I don't know if there have ever been 2 albums as awesome and as successful as Good Kid, Mad City, and To Pimp a Butterfly. To Pimp a Butterfly is, in fact, my favorite rap album. So, for J. Cole to come out and say, hey, the best among us is quite a bold play. So we're going to go ahead and skip the rest of this song. If you want to listen to the rest of the first-person shooter, if you haven't already heard it, go ahead and do that. I'm not going to play the rest of it. The point is, J. Cole came out on the song and said, it's really just the 3 of us, but I feel like so let's hear what Kendrick has to say about that in a feature that he did on Metro Boomin and Future's album, We Don't Trust You. This came out of nowhere. It was a very big deal. Let's hear what Kendrick Lamar's response is to being in the big 3 and not number 1. These niggas talking out of their, if you want no proof and out of your, I'm way too paranoid
dissect podcasts for making this point, but I really do believe when Kendrick Lamar says there's a lot of goofies with a check, I really do think he's directly referring to Drake. Because Goofy is like a silly dog from Disney, and check refers to, it could mean a verified check mark on Instagram or Twitter. It could mean check as in goofy, silly people with a lot of money, and it could also mean check like Nike, who Drake has a deal with. I know what you're thinking. That sounds like a reach. It is absolutely not. Kendrick Lamar received a Pulitzer Prize for his lyricism, wordplay, and narrative storytelling for the album Damn. So I don't think it's that much of a stretch. Just to be clear, the reason why we're listening to this specific verse is because this is a response to J. Cole and Drake directly. So this is the start of the actual beef. Let's continue. So it's very clear that Kendrick Lamar is referring directly to Drake and J. Cole by mentioning the first person shooter song by name. He also talks about people clicking up the two of them coming together and saying that they are the two best in the game. He also says he's snatching chains and burning tattoos. I do not know what that is referring to. I don't think that's a literal thing. Which is ironic because he just says, I hope your sentiments are symbolic, which is basically his way of saying, I hope you guys are joking. I hope that when you guys are talking about being the two biggest rappers and it really just being the three of us, but I'm not number one, I hope you guys are just like, oh, this is all like symbolic or something else, because you can't be for real. But he is being very clear about who he's talking to, what he's talking about, and I love it. Like, this is something that's been missing from rap in a long time. Not diss tracks in general, but diss tracks between rappers that are this big, like the biggest. It's really awesome. And hearing this was so jarring for me as somebody that's a fan of all three of them. Unless it wasn't super clear that Kendrick Lamar is talking about these two individuals. I mean, he literally... him saying, fuck the big three, it's just Big Me, is a direct response to J. Cole saying that the three of them are basically the big three. And he emphasized this by screaming bum multiple times, which I think is the most underrated and funny part of this entire disc. Just yelling the word bum. Like, Kendrick Lamar yelling bum has been stuck in my head for weeks now. Every time somebody does something that is unsatisfactory, I just hear that sound. Just him yelling bum in my head. So thank you, Kendrick, for that. But he wants to make it clear that we are not the same. We are on different levels. I have accomplished more, or people like me more, or my work speaks for itself in a way that is completely different than the both of you. So, yeah, let's go ahead and finish the track and we'll talk more about what's to come.
All your dogs get buried. That's a K with all these lines. You gon' see Pet Cemetery.
For all your dogs getting buried, For All the Dogs is the name of Drake's album. So he's like, your album is getting buried. That's a K with all of them nines. You gonna see Pet Cemetery? I mean, what a beautiful way to end a diss verse. I mean, a lot of times, many great movies are ruined by the third act, by the ending. But what a beautiful and succinct way to end a diss. For all your dogs getting buried, that's a K with all the nines. K for Kendrick. 9 with the guns. You gonna see Pet Cemetery where dogs go to die. I mean, movie had a chef's kiss. Beautiful. I love it. So, J. Cole comes out and says, we're the best. I'm the best. We're the big three, but I'm the U1. Drake says, it's really just this J. Cole looking at each other like the Spider-Man meme. It's really just the two of us at the top. We're big as the Super Bowl. Kendrick comes in and says, your best work is like that, which is really, really tough. That's a really tough thing to say. See, the best thing you've ever accomplished is pretty mid. It's kind of light. It's kind of light work.
point, not that their best work is trash, because I think some of Drake's best work is really, really, really impressive. J. Cole, also. I'm not as big of a fan as J. Cole album as the average J. Cole fan. But there's some verses, there's some wordplay, there's some lyricism. When J. Cole is at his best, I believe he's one of the best. So for Kendrick to call that a light pack, very, very, very rude. Very, very disrespectful. Now, I love the fact that we aren't too far into this podcast. I feel comfortable going ahead and getting into J. Cole's response to Kendrick Lamar, which it turns out has kind of a sad ending. So we're going to go through J. Cole's response to Kendrick Lamar saying that he's a bum, his best work's the light pack, F the big three, it's just big me. Let's hear what J. Cole has to say in response at the end of a tape, a collection of songs that J. Cole released titled Might Delete Later. There's a song called 7 Minute Drill that has now been deleted, but that doesn't really mean anything because when it comes to the internet, mistakes are forever, as John Champion once said. Even though J. Cole would decide to delete this diss track, I think it's important to highlight some of the moments from that diss track before we, completely release J. Cole from this beef. Spoiler alert, J. Cole lost. If there was a fight that Kendrick started with like that, saying that his best work was a light pack and he's a bum, unfortunately J. Cole decided to gracefully bow out after releasing his diss track. We'll get into that. First, let's listen to J. Cole's response.
What's up, Fausto?
First of all,
it's PWC, it's keep the heat under your seat. I gotta nobody say that somebody did say some attention that come with extensions. My dog like say the word, he on shit, he itching, I'm putting so much work in the streets, he got pension, I told him chill out. Yeah, man, get the shots, get the popping on mention.
Nothing has happened yet.
That's a fucking lie. That's a fucking lie. That's a fucking lie. That's a fucking lie.
Look, I'm gonna stop this right there. And if you want to listen to the rest of this diss track, you can either find it online or I'll leave a link in the description. This is where the diss track already lost me, because him trying to, before anything else, discredit Kendrick Lamar's albums. Come on, man. Kendrick Lamar's albums are
What up, though, viewers? What up, though, viewers? What up, though, y'all? What up, though, y'all? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up?
It's probably the worst thing that J. Cole ever tried to diss Kendrick.
Talk to me.
Let's just.
I'm reading it. I see it.
Your first shit was classic. Your last shit was tragic. Now, here's the thing. Of course, the first one is classic. First of all, we're on a diss track, and you're talking about how somebody's album is classic. I feel like you're already kind of feeling this. The guy just screamed that you're a bum. Said your best work is a light pack. You come in, the first thing you say is, your first album, dude, it was a classic. You're losing me. Your last. He says your last shit was tragic. Now, Mr. Morale thinks that. Not to hold you. J. Cole has a point here. There's a lot of sad stuff on that album. So maybe, yeah. I mean, you could call it tragic. But to say it was a bad one, I would go that far. Just because something is the least shape of a bunch doesn't mean that it's not good at all. I like it 95. I mean, even some of the sadder songs on there, one of the more introspective songs like Coffee Diaries and other I Sober, I believe is the name. There are a couple of lower points on there, but songs like
How am I supposed to do my move if the pillar is blocking it?
Even out, I mean, saying that he's still doing shows but fell off like The Simpsons. First of all, it's kind of corny. you're trying to make it diss, and you're saying this would be fed off like the Simpsons. First of all, the Simpsons have been going on forever. Bad example. If Kendrick Lamar is like the Simpsons, what is it? Unbelievable fun. You can chew a first over, breathe.
Thomas Cox, open your eyes.
But this is the part that truly, I find unforgivable. Your second shit put people to sleep. Big gas. So, hippo butter. The best and my rap album I have ever heard. What part of this is boring exactly? It could be alright. So J. Cole's diss track was not that great, okay? And everybody that was not a J. Cole fan, like a hardcore J. Cole fan, again, I like J. Cole. I heard the diss track and I was like, first of all, fine. Secondly, the beat's not great.
How's that not a dodge?
In the same universe.
Get the fuck away from me.
I mean, the Like That beat is one of the better beats.
Get the fuck on.
That goes crazy. Okay? So to come in on a trash beat, the lyrics have to be spectacular. One of the first things you say is there's a good butterfly that's boring. Shut up, Jacob. You don't even know. And I'm not going to go through J. Cole's whole apology. J. Cole's whole thing is, hey man, how about you discredit this dude's discography? He's at a festival live show, and he's basically saying, hey guys, I just want to squash the beat, dude. I didn't really feel the diss track. I'm actually going to delete it, which is hilarious, because the song is on a tape that's called My Delete Later, and he literally deleted it later. But that's beside it. J. Cole doesn't really want problems. He says that he's just a man of peace. He likes Kendrick Lamar, and he's like apologizing. It's very awkward. I really hate it. I'm upset that J. Cole doesn't want to be Kendrick. I'm not upset that he doesn't want this track out where he's talking about how it's a butterfly is not going to be out. I'm upset that he created it because of pressure and put it out and then deleted it. I just think it's lame. I'm sorry. Like, he apologized. I guess I accept the apology. I don't really care. Kendrick's got to be feeling great, by the way. He's like, I didn't even get a chance to come back and, you know, make another verse or another song to go at J. Cole. J. Cole came up. I didn't have to do anything.
If it's a dodge, why the fuck did I get hit by it?
You know what? I feel like we're doing pretty good on time. Let's go ahead and get into Drake's.
Oh my god, bro.
And it goes hard, and it's not nice and violent. So let's listen to Push-Ups by Drake.
This game is horrible. This game is horrible.
First of all, it goes without saying that this is a lot meaner than the J. Cole attempt. First things first, he says, I could never be nobody's number one fan. Future, on his track, said that Drake was his number one fan, so he's directly addressing it. He says, you're first number one, I put it in your hand. Basically, Future's only good songs, a lot of his best songs.
All my combos have depicted off the paddle, and nobody lets me get it.
Somebody check the numbers on that. I'm sure it's getting crazy. Drake has been the hit maker. The reason why this is relevant is because by the time Drake was able to get that dish right now,
And that always misses.
Weekend had dissed him. Kendrick, of course, dissed him. He's on a Future song. And Future and Drake used to be boys. They made an entire album together. They've made many tracks together. And one of Future's biggest songs had Drake. So it's very, very bold for him to make that diss towards Drake. Loud and energy towards Drake. So, and how he big step with the side step, that's very clearly a shot at Kendrick. And also, the cover art for this song is basically what it looks like. You look inside the shoe, that's the side step. That's something that's cool. So, and the big stepping is obviously a reference to Kendrick Lamar's big stepper. It's correct. Big stepper, so it's calling him a small person. It says, no one's going to take a chain on him. Because Kendrick Lamar said that he's snatching chains. So Drake is like, I'd love to see him try. Also, yeah, Reddit says this is the part of my reference. So yeah, this is starting out very cool. Let's listen some more because there's no
Point to red.
Funny bars here. This is such a Drake line. Be like, the way your contract is split, the splits are so crazy. And every time I hear that, I think when I was on this. Every time I hear that, I think that episode is that song goes hard. I might use that as the outro.
You're using it as the outro.
But yeah, start talking about the splits because apparently, allegedly, reportedly, Kendrick Lamar has a deal where 50% of what he makes goes to his label, which is such a terrible deal. Imagine every single time, let's say you have a paycheck, the paycheck's $2,000. Imagine giving up half of it. $1,000 of every $2,000 you make is going to whoever signed you. What an awful deal. And for somebody that claims to be on top, say, we're in a big three, it's big me. Yeah, so the biggest is giving half of their money to their label. Not a great look at all. So yeah, Drake's cooking. This is not the first time that Drake, this is not the last time that Drake will mention Taylor Swift. So he's basically saying, my me first, you better make it witty. So, Kendrick, although he's somebody that comes off as this very tough guy, talking about snatching chains and burning tattoos, he talks about kind of being straight out the hood from Compton, like a real tough guy. But I'll hop on a track with Taylor Swift. And look, there's nothing wrong with hopping on a track with Taylor Swift, but it's hard to come out and say that you're this big tough guy.
perfectly predictable.
Meet my friend, Mr. Hammer. You'll feel this one in the morning. These clowns are getting hit. Hope you like it. That's cool.
Match point to blue.
Not nice, not cool. Heads up. And they call me a clown. You'll feel this one in the morning.
Match point to red. Fantastic victory. Perfectly predictable. Point to red. Perfectly predictable.
Not in the face, okay? Careful! I bruise easily.
Match point to blue.
weak ass fucking character.
So I love the line, I make music that electrify, you make music that pacify. First of all, on first listen, you could just be like, oh, he's saying that Drake's music is boring. But if you look a little bit deeper, as per, I imagine, would expect you to pacify. It's kind of like a pacifier. It's used to calm children down. And I think he might either be referring to Drake being a child, or the fact that he makes music for kids, or the fact that Drake may or may not just be into young people. And that's okay. There's some songs throughout this game where we Drake thinks that he's completely need to go through every single bit of every song. But Kendrick,
Same sentence.
so we're going to be breaking down a majority of the song after.
It's open.
So that's cat and mouse make a fool. Because it's one that I think I talk about. Because Kendrick Lamar says only not the money that they make you go away. Kendrick Lamar is planting the seed that Drake is not who he intends to be, and he's gonna expand on that throughout this few other songs. But he basically saying, whatever bitch you get, I totally recognize you. At the end of the day, I know. Also, he says that Drake is all the time because he got shipped by which is basically a funny way of saying the verse that Kendrick Lamar didn't like that wasn't even supposed to be that big of a deal. But Drake obviously took it very personally and told it up that whole diss track push-ups. And I've been appreciating this. I just want to speak about it. And people forget that a lot of what's happening is Drake playing it what happened. That's what it was. He asked. Okay? He was saying the end of Taylor Bakery's guys. Man, you got let's let this go. So Kendrick's gonna get into him.
Get this stuff out my face.
You die, they turn into nuns, they hop on the from the city, they can relate to them. First of all, flow.
You just pushing buttons.
So,
let me throw some bombs at your ass.
when he says his daddy a killer, he wanted
Break up all that dumb shit you doing.
Right, to Birdman, who signed
You gonna keep spamming side attacks and holding them over and over again. Like, I'm not gonna punish you for that. You would have lost if you would have actually been able to jump up. You couldn't. He couldn't even. He literally couldn't attack up. So I'm gonna just keep fucking throwing bombs at you and staying high. And keep panning you because you're doing the same shit, bro. You have no mix-ups. You have no combos. You're doing the same exact shit over and over again. Eventually, I'm gonna catch you. You was basic.
Shaking you. You get it.
That is the fucking cheesiest shit. Bitch.
best rapper ever. Obviously, it's only
Got me good that time.
for a very long time. And he said that Drake is making him turn in his grave by owning something of his. And honestly, that's fair. It's really wild. Drake kid and invest as an actor, as a Canadian child actor, and then become a rapper and portray himself as an American rapper. Also, these American boys, and then after getting out as a successful rapper, it's like, let's get some greatest American pioneers of rap. Because I see myself as this too. I can understand why this is a setting for intricate water. Also, another like some arms that we can
Get your
Needs to be, and there's some people that funny moments that happen in this song. But
You try to be cute. You got your ass beat anyway.
He's talking about having things twisted. Obviously, you know, being confused, being out of sorts, whatever.
You tried to be cute.
When I was 14 years old, I was a freshman in high school, and I had like a relatively significant afro, like not like.
And the fact that you tried to spike me off the side and you got spiked off the side, and I had more damage on me than you is crazy.
The beginning of dreadlocks.
Them fins all the same. Combo in the up air, combo in the up air, combo in the up air.
Decided that I.
But Jerry is actually good in the air.
It was around the time where the Karate Kid.
I'ma fight your ass up there now that I know that.
It's kind of really deal. It's like if I think that like that movie, you know, big back twist, say, and the grades are hurt. When they hurt, it's fun. They never hurt. And every time I think about that, Kendrick, right now, which is not better. It's just, and I feel like Kendrick has got to the end of it. It's like Drake making all these bad decisions. The main one being to turn around and test Kendrick. And, I don't know, what is it? It's also him talking about how Drake doesn't want to work with him anymore. And him like using this baby voice is
I'll give you that.
because it's making Drake sound like a really it's so good. It's just really good. And I feel like that's something that Drake doesn't participate in the inflection, the memory of his raps. Like, he doesn't really take time to add an emphasis on these you know, one Drake song, like a Drake rap song this year, except a Drake rap song from 6 years ago. The Kendrick would try to make you take something a year, and I just love that about, you know, just let me go step shit. Give me the stage.
I won't let that happen again.
Kendrick obviously wants nothing to do with them. He says there's 3 goats left, and I think so. Yes, he's walking on stage. It's hilarious because that's what I guess you're putting Drake and J. Cole on stage together. They went on tour together. This gave J. Cole and Drake the opportunity to make another song together. So that's 2 songs together. Drake and J. Cole used to play out. And before they had this song.
Here it is.
It's called In the Morning, I believe. But yeah, Kendrick is saying, also the reference to why W. Belly is funny because why W. Well, like the actual incident that occurred to the funny because why W. Belly allegedly was killing 2 of his friends. And Kendrick's like, that's kind of the way that I feel about that. Like, I like you guys, but also, if you're trying to push me, like, I would, metaphorically speaking, I imagine, kill you. And Drake,
I'm honestly better.
You know, if you think about this shit, these terrorists throwing them terrorists, yeah, look at
Friendly reminder that Drake notorious.
Okay, so first of all, I'm so happy to see a woman part of the president, and I'm grateful for that. However, does that mean I'm going to press even with item vote? Because everyone talks about, oh, let's get the black vote, and we get the black vote and nothing changes. And when I say nothing, I mean on education. I think that I'm suffering in the public school. And let's talk about the other practices. You know, in black vote, everything is and that's I
Thomas Cox, open your eyes. You're being manipulated. I am not afraid.
Just do it.
Hey man, hold it great. Think of this great. Great for female president. You know what? If we got one another Democratic president in there, I think we'll give the Republicans another try. There's a lot of agendas that the Democrats we just got
That's going to be full of me.
The Democratic put into place that I don't support they're destroying the black man, they're destroying the black family. I think they're throwing it out the country, and if you listen, if we put Trump back in, he's going to do to bring this country to where we need, and it's not a race thing. It's the number one thing they like to do.
You need to get the fuck on somewhere. You gotta get the fuck on somewhere. That is not your main. I could tell it's not your main. Find something safe to do, cause that ain't it. I could tell that ain't your main. I don't know if you got a temp account because you want to be annoying or you thought you was finna troll, but find something better to do with your time, bro. That ain't it.
Never elected a black woman, that's true. People never voted for the executive celebrity apprentice either until they did. People never voted for a convicted felon. We're about to see if they will. These are unprecedented times, people. That's all. Yeah, let's keep it getting so further. So can your brain. Plus, stay connected with available Star technology, super adventures, Chevy Sky, Chevrolet. Together, let's survive.
When I am finished, I shall rename this game MultiVersus.
You'll get a kick out of this one. Look out below. Undefeated board business amounts forever. Not the rabbit, you're supposed to get the mouse.
Point to red.
They were telling us that Joe was ready to go, even though you and I moved it. That Joe finally had to know what day it is. It's about 2022. And we were expecting him to do some work with humble parents. Mind you, is not being a member of his administration. So, and what's going on in Gaza? A prosecutor who families in California. She was so
Shitty as fuck. Shitty as fuck. Shitty as fuck. You was emoting. You thought you was cool. Shitty as fuck. Shitty as fuck. Shitty as fuck.
They debate. They actually go through a real primary process.
You need to type out a message and be like, shitty as fuck. Shitty as fuck.
Because of the fact that the Democratic Party, the DNC, and the CCC have decided to forgo democracy because they do not actually care about upholding democracy. Anyway, vote for Joe Stein.
How perfectly predictable.
Why the fuck can I hear her? So you can just hit through my dodge no matter what?
Point to red.
He give me so it look like he need the hammer. He can see what's He was a soldier.
That shit crazy. That shit crazy. It was nothing I could do. I literally couldn't do anything. I literally couldn't do anything. Tom and Jerry is good, but he don't have no, like, this game don't allow you to play no defense. And you can get put in mix-ups that there's nothing you could do about them. That was nothing I could do. Like, I didn't fight him. I just watched him play. I literally couldn't do anything. I couldn't get out the sky. I couldn't dodge. He's small. His attacks are lightning fast. So even if you dodge, he can hit you again before you get a chance to dodge the second time. So it's like there's nothing you could do. Every time I fight them, there's nothing I could do.
Absolutely disgusting. By the stamina of two! By the strength of Amor! Tremble before me! By the swiftness of Horus!
He does it. He does it. We also need notebook erasers up for this. You are at the punch. OD.
How the fuck is you that big and moving that fast? And you running? Why are you running like? You running like a pussy, bro.
This will be your end.
He got players that's only going to go down in first years to be at least be a beige American. I don't say that much.
Oh gosh, running.
It just keeps getting worse. First it was great. Now it's Steph Curry. Great ass. Don't say that about Steph Curry. He didn't do nothing wrong. Got you. Make sure you turn. Stand. It was somebody who inspires you. I see the amazing things that you do in the Bay Area. Mr. Mav and his amazing
Bro.
Man and the people. Last year, you been saying
You talk about a pussy ass nigga.
Steph Curry, after hearing, not like us, has this to say.
By the stamina of two!
You play like a pussy, bro. Like you play like a pussy, bro.
Of course, I am the victor.
LeBron James says,
Like, oh my god, you a pussy ass nigga.
yeah, I get it. The song has been played. Oh, it's understatement. The song is going insane. But I kind of have a theory about it.
Life tough when you a fucking coward. Like,
Steph, this ain't the time to be tired of like us. I know that he's friends with Drake. I know that him and Aisha. I know that you friends with Drake. Y'all was in and out when he was out here. I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's just not your friend being selling some crazy things. Because if you believe those crazy things, you gotta question why your friends would have been bringing the key.
Don't flip. We got these cats in the back.
Say that you're tired of this. I get a lot of people, this person specifically, video games.
Literally can't hit this nigga, bro. Like, literally can't hit him.
Point to red.
Stereotypes being lashed left and right. I'm sorry. You don't like not like us because it's getting on your nerves. I'm sorry. This was so loud. This one was incredible. I was sick of the show. Right? You got a chance to see it. The trailer was all I had to see. The trailer was all I had to see. 7 seconds in. 10 seconds.
This game is ass. This game is ass. If you don't get that broken motherfucker out my face, bro.
I'm not even gonna play the rest of that trip. But when I saw that, it was the first thing I thought about. Like, we need to have conversations.
Like, god damn, like.
What do you identify with? And how invested are you in it? I don't have any.
Like, this game is ass.
Steph Curry and his charitable contributions and whether or not he takes care of that Bay Area community. Proof is all there. No doubt about it. But because you do one thing, don't excuse one thing. So when I see this and I see that, it's a cultural moment. Matter of fact, beyond just if you're West Coast biased, beyond if you're Kendrick or you're Drake biased, it's a song in hip hop that is becoming bigger than just hip hop. It's becoming mainstream pop culture. It's in every single faction of media right now. Like, this is a moment. This is what music needed, damn it. Everybody talks about how trash music has become and, oh, there's not any moments anymore. We've only seen the moments in the past. This is one. And now we're already predictable. I wish the internet had a field day with this. Specifically, Jermaine Dupri has really, really interesting things to say. He gave some perspective on this. I want to share this here with you because he made some really, really valid points.
Take in this way. Also, shout out to everybody.
Say, bro, not like us getting played at the Kid Choice Awards is insanity because of the context. Can't you imagine how loud it was in there when it came?
That's crazy. That was a crazy combo.
That is crazy. Okay, maybe I'm starting to get why some people may be tired or fatigued. You know the song. You thought that was bad? Did you guys have a chance to play the Not Like Us video game? Did you know there was a Not Like Us video game online, free to play for anybody? So cool. Tell us everything about it here. Has anybody played the Kendrick Lamar Not Like Us video game yet? Did you know that there's a video game called Not Like Us? Well, I'm here to tell you. I don't know if Kendrick Lamar approved the game or not, but it's out there, and you can play it. Go to notlikeusgame.com and try your hand at whack out. Oh my God, it's whack-a-mole, but with owls because there's a mole in the camp. So, I think he's going to play on how everybody's finding the conspiracy in every single thing that Kendrick raps about in these diss songs. It's hilarious. It's one of the fastest songs to ever reach 100 million streams, if not the fastest song in hip hop ever. How does it an 8-bit video game? There's no getting away from this. 23 is the highest score I got because for some reason, I don't know if this was intentional, I'm saying, but as soon as you get to 18, it becomes a lot harder. Developers, not the coders. Somebody said something along the lines of that being one of the same coders of Fortnite. Script Dope here just said on Twitter the developer said he purposely made the game get harder after 17. You're having double entendres in the video games too. What I enjoy the most about everything that has happened is it's not even the downfall of another game. It's not about that. The things that I felt like Drake was an example of, an avatar of that mainstream rap specifically. There are things that need to correct themselves for the culture to evolve. We're a part of that correction process. So many of us were under a hypnosis because of the allure of money, the allure of mainstream acceptance, the allure of all these different things that Drake represented. So much so that when Paul's death, our most cherished artist in the culture, in hip-hop, he stood up and said, Drake's like target. Look at all the skills. They don't tell the legend. They call him a hater. As if he himself didn't originate so much of what we see today as a rapper turned actor that finds success in that medium. As if he didn't do black women songs. As if he didn't tell it while he didn't bring black story. And I don't think it's me. I think it's a lot of younger fans who are not necessarily fans of hip hop, or sometimes anybody famous sometimes. There's 6ix9ine God. One of those people very well. It's me. I remember once 2027 Ebro says Drake doesn't have a regional identity. It sounds like LA native Kendrick Lamar. Out of touch with what black people stand for. Let's try what's going to this is important. One thing about hip hop is it's regional. Geography is important. The map and the areas you own, when it comes time for somebody to take your head off, is very important in this game. It always has been. What's yours? Jay-Z, Brooklyn, Nas, Queens, West Coast, Biggie, Brooklyn. Like, think about all Meek Mill, Philly's mine. Like, these are all like, you can't even fuck with me on a tail. When Kendrick drops, they not like us. Bro was basically saying, hey, I'm from Compton, I'm from this, and I don't even make this type. Never even made one. Hey, I'm going to own my phone. Literally, my backyard. My family's eating, going to school, and a style trip for this people right here. I'm going to just flat it down in the middle. And on the same show, I'm going to ridicule you about walking Atlanta into your shit. That's what you can't even go ask them to yourself. Wait, that? What? What do you know? It's what Kendrick, I feel, is after.
I feel like Dre's biggest learned on this step in his whole battle was the line punch he goes back to like watch the great slaves. Like, no thing, he says it all the time. That you feel like he's never stood up for anything. The one thing we can get at Dre for as much music as he's given Black culture, he's never stood on anything like that. For him to stand out with crazy
insane
into that first big vocal callback. That was nuts. To me, that was his biggest vocal. The end was shit, the pop shit, and we all really upset about it. To me, this was the biggest misstep we made.
Would there be anything in there that deserves a debate? I don't see a necessity to debate what's going on here. You know, we can blame for using hip-hop, mainstream rap, I should say. Music and mainstream rap, it's regional strength. Right? I think that's even an extreme comment to say. I don't think that regions have lost their sounds. But I do think that more so than ever, there are abundance of artists into the game and say, because of the example that Drake set, I need to be able to sing in pretty much any style of music that I can get my hands on it. I think that Drake is the originator of that. Matter of fact, I remember a XXL interviewing 50 Cent. He talked about when he first came into the game with Get Rich or Die Trying. He talked about how he strategized on how to take over every single reach. And being able to have the flexibility to get down to be able to flexibility in the West Coast production, to have the flexibility to have super NY records, like Jamaica's Mains type of records. The ability to go into the Midwest, work with Eminem, and different sounds within there. You know, he talked about doing that very strategically. However, the thing that is the biggest difference between his approach to doing that and Drake's approach, he is not working in the process. Matter of fact, even in the world, he's doing those Jamaican things. He's doing it. There's people here who it's not that deep. It is that deep. It is. Because there are people, there are kids that look at you and say, you need somebody that looks like me, that's from this very city. I'm sure like that, that sounds like me, likes the same towns that I go to. Even tell me that I can do this shit too. Yes, you did. My killer, it represents hope, right? And also was a sense of pride. I felt the pride. Even at 39, I felt the pride. Listen, Kendrick and I'm like, I'm at a place in my life now where it's like, I don't need everybody else to love the West Coast for me to love the West Coast. But there was a time where I was like, why do I love the West Coast? Like, what? It's amazing music out here. Oh, y'all sound so rich. Yada, yada, yada. But it was a proud moment. I watched that show, and I saw the sound be celebrated. People asking questions online. Yo, who's this one? Who's it? Hey, who's that? Who the guys? Who's that? Proud to see that. But it's hard to feel that pride in somebody that doesn't feel like, doesn't sound like, doesn't smell like, doesn't do anything remotely regional. What is the sound of Jordan? I'm sorry, I am not going to sit up here and overlook the contributions of Chaos. Shout out to Chaos. Yo, superstar. Shout out, he ain't the only one, but I'm saying these are the folks who are more interested in what the region has to offer. And we're Black Canadians right now pissed off at the situation. Chocolate, going on Chocolate. There are folks right now who are like, yo, we never said that Drake was a sack. We just showed love to him because he was at the border. But don't get it twisted. We still have our own sound out here.
Many choices on making them. There are so many different things. And towards you, Tina loves for the sweet.
power level.
Shit.
A bit more serious in this topic because we want to keep talking about culture. One thing that you might get me to stop talking about is culture. So, like Johnson, a comedian that we covered in the video before, he is memorized, he has a fresh approach. And a little bit of like Dave Chappelle sometimes, and how he approaches is a little bit more complex. The way that he approaches explaining to people why so it was so important to the reach. And hope by the end of this you understand not just why like us is such a cultural event right here for the last month, but why these moments matter every single project that happens.
You understand how important and powerful that pop-out concert was? You have to understand Nipsey Hussle. Okay? Nipsey Hussle was a rapper that a lot of people, at least as many people as I think should know, don't know. But what is one of the most important things about Nipsey Hussle, and what he would probably want you to know about him and remember about him, besides the fact that he was a phenomenal artist, is that he spent his time, his money, his attention, and all of his intention in improving the lives of the people that grew up around him, improving his community. Okay? This dude would pay for shoes.
How perfectly predicted.
It's hilarious that they have. He would get repaid basketball courts that were in disarray, right? He would pay and help raise funds for funerals of victims and their families of gun violence, right? And this was all in his name. So it's the same way that people come on. He tried to bring everybody with him. That was his mission. He made his mission because he was a great artist and he was but you just getting out is not the thing, right? Sometimes people make it out and then people don't. It's not as easy as you just make it out. Sheesh. You want to bring people with you and manage your work. That's what you want to do. Credit is a thing. What does it really say about you if you make it out? Made you great enough. Now you left everybody else. And this is like, you was that means I get some pretty spots available.
Snakes me for this next part because he really wants to respect the difference between the small parties and absolute the rest of these Nipsey Hussle. He breaks down why it's not just about the contributions, it's making the truth and playing field. It's opportunity for charities or anything in general. I'll give you that one. Tip for charity. Listen to this next portion. You understand this statement. Charity. It's one of the easiest things to do. You experience what I'm doing, right? So you actually, as much as we may look down, you can't always find someone who gets where they came from. Especially they came from a bad place. Sometimes you try to forget where you came from. You know, you just think about it. It's like, damn, if I get rich enough to move, maybe we find some place like that house. It's like, that's an amazing thing. And the other amazing thing, he did so many impactful things. He started so many programs and he taught to give back and he taught people while he was doing it. And sure, everyone's fun. They go to build franchises for themselves, right? So that when we make the money, we know what to do. Right? And even all this. Yes, he was a big artist. Yes, he was a big artist. He was one. His net was about $8 million.
Another victory for Steven and his friends.
You know how much you gotta believe in a vision? Your net worth is $8 million. And although for most of us that's a hell of a lot of money, But when you break it down in terms of supporting your livelihood, supporting your successful merchandising business in the marathon club, supporting workers and folks who are part of your staff, your team, when you're talking about pressing up a lot of stuff direct to consumer, when you're talking about taking out all that kind of money, the cost of doing business alone, you eat up all that. Even making that amount to still put yourself there for the line and say, I want to invest into programs that help kids get out of college, specifically for my neighborhood. I'm going to invest into these workspaces where people may not have a quiet, safe place at home to work business. And here, for instance, they have a space like this in Richmond. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the things that we have to talk about. These are the things we have to talk about to really understand why culture is getting the kind of love it's getting right now. This is why always hits different. You have so many things to say about them. He hasn't passed away. But he's not a legend. They said all these different things, but what they didn't understand, and maybe it's partly their fault for not doing any better, or partly because the culture wasn't as much because it is now. But there's a difference between choice and choice. One of those will never be forgotten.
I think that people don't recognize how low that is in the grand scheme of rich these artists are. Because they're billionaires, right? Because they're on track to be billionaires. And they will what he did was so much literally fraction that they had right? And so I think it's important for us to understand that pop understand Nipsey and these stuff trying to. It's also important to understand the image and the legacy of this is also important. Okay? And remember what you think about the man himself, what he did in basketball, the passion that he had, the obsession with his passion, is exactly what he wanted to part of people. That's what they do. He's not here to take it. It's not his fault. You just be the bitch you have for being a father. If your obsession is being the best, whatever your passion is, you will make it impact. Right? It's why to this day, and when I was little, if I looked at all paper, and it's actually as far
This begs the question, what is great passion? That's a normal man question. But you say that you gotta chill. So that's the issue we're in sometimes. You gotta chill. Wait, you see, this is what I want to check. How is you gonna be a free ass nigga in the season? I can't get that ass nigga in the season.
and if I make it, it's not. And so it's also important, no matter what you think of Anderson, Kendrick is someone that these individuals show to us as obsession, as passion, which is music. He's also someone that music. He's in the intention of what he speaks in every interview, and in everything that I've read about him, wants to give the thing away that Nipsey gave, right? And sort of be a beat with those same principles. So then, music is just what you take, which is liberation for black people, right? And then they all come together. When I say they, I mean every section, every known and probably unknown section of LA's gang members were in one place at the same time. That's crazy. They were all there. And everyone made about the beef, and all the police leaders on their amazing music shown to the world. And there was even a little detail, like, I haven't verified this thing, but I heard about it, and
their ways are chaotic, but the cat and mouse get results.
The tickets sold so fast, and I guess they were checked zip codes. And if you didn't like they were refunding people so that people in LA the thing that Kendrick gives, at least to me, the thing that Nipsey gave, at least to me, and the thing that comes to a certain degree is an appreciation and a strengthening of the community. I think that's one thing I'm trying to say, right? Is that if you're
will not let a cat and mouse make a fool of me.
It's not actually a person. Maybe the thing that you like it, and that could be enough, right? Also, to discredit the entirety of something and what's found to back up that work with being an angel. But I think what it was is that community sometimes equal to culture. So you're not a member.
It was understood what you really into delivering this message. Hey, it was into delivering this message. Hey, you might get a gold already. See, I did it already. I'm sorry. You might get a gold. Was he into this message?
And you take from the community, let's say you're a business, and all you do is sit there and let the people spend you. Sit there and let them say,
Way too red.
you're just taking, right? You understand this, but you're just taking. And I think that's what bothers it's not that he's whatever. It's literally, it's the fact that you're not actually trying to be more independent, but you take, and what do you give? You're a billionaire out for yourself. But you get out of the house.
I must find myself.
How many hundreds of millions does Drake have? And I'm not telling anybody how to spend their money. I'm just saying that when we look at who's doing what and when they're doing it, and so when you have a concert like that, right? We have a concert that's a day of liberation, and you've grabbed all these sections of that LA. You can't understand what it is for some of these people. Another time, they would be in the streets killing each other, and now they're all inside in one place right now. So emotional about that. And they were all on stage together, dancing in LA, and I understand that there are lots of white people who don't take that I have about it, that think that any mention of gang culture should be equated to any part of blackness. I understand that, but I'm saying that right? Those are black people, and yes, they've been in situations and they've been in conditions where they're gang members. If you have a day like the pop-up concert, you have another day like the pop-up concert, you have another day. Thank you. All this stuff, it's just disintegrates. Do you know what I mean? It's all about the future. Gang members, we do not know how many gang members were on that stage, but they were all dancing together and shooting to drink them. I understand that. They had to dance something, right? And so, it's actually fascinating to watch because they did not want to be on the camera. They didn't want to be on the games.
Seeing some of the folks tweet. There was an extra some of the people that wanted to tweet. And they could tell they were saying it without saying it. They were like, just chilling on the base. Just chilling. Somebody do a whiteboard breakdown of all the hoods that were on stage. Very careful. You got a trainer running up on character, but he's right. It's like,
because even if I think one thing people are having trouble finding the person what impactful and beautiful moment was the television. It's not really hard to do. It does get like snitching. You know what I mean? Like if you're like he was there, and he was there.
So that maybe is like totally maybe for the good unit, good of the community, culture. Maybe Drake should try. Maybe he shouldn't. Just more time. Drake, you might as well, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're tired of New York, you're tired of not like us. Well, let's get not like us. You know? You got something? What you curious about what he might say? Is that good? I mean, can you say about me? Ten songs about me and the terrible things about me? How much can you say?
That's a weird ass person to fight. Like, that nigga is too fast. He got too many attacks you can't interrupt. He little. Everybody who play him well play him like pussies. They just move around fast as fuck. And you can't hit him. And then when he hits you, it's unblockable. Like, there's no way to get out of it. That is a corny ass player. That's a corny ass play style. I don't really respect it. And then you teabagging like you're good. It's weird. You're not fucking good. Not to me. That shit corny to me. I've literally been playing for hours and ain't seen one parry from either person. That's how you know that shit broken. Shit don't work.
His second verse, he has a line. My fans can't be gonna stun your punk ass and crush your whole shit. I'll big on your punk ass. Scare little bitch. Take the shit out of my name. Niggas lame. And when I get out, you know this. Tell me who was just playing. One way came out. You know what they broke. Shut the fuck up. You sound like a little nigga I know. I end up like the last nigga I know. Oh, you don't wanna crash, nigga I know. Some say this was a shot at Big Sean. Some say the shot at Drake. Both of them were mentioned and both got to shot being back at him since then. So what happened to this game that both? Another thing is he ends his second verse with the lines. You know what time it is, and this is it for now. Y'all got till April the 7th to get y'all shit together. April 7th that year, everyone is conflicted. Damn. Don't tell a lie about me, and I won't know you. I change the route. Also, focus on the song is don't tell a lie about you. Keep these things in mind for a little later because they play a part in this whole situation. Things pick back up years later as on October 5th, 2023, Drake released the album titled
That shit literally does not hit anything, bro.
Featuring J. Cole. And on November 15th, they released the video for the song. On the intro, J. Cole has the lines. Some niggas debating my number. Not the 3, not the 2, I'm the UNO. Yeah, Lucero, UNO. Me and Tracy, this shit like the Super Bowl. For some years, the rap, the Big 3, as they call it, has been considered to be Drake, Kendrick, and Cole. Right here, Cole is saying that out of the Big 3, he is number 1. J. Cole put down the sentiment of his verse with the lines. When they bring the hardest MC is the K-Dot is the operator B. The Big 3 like the stars of B. Right now, I feel like I'm not lead. Yeah, I'm not lead. All that they call when they shit ain't connected. I feel like I got a job 19. Right over me is the biggest mistake. That Spider-Man meme is me looking at Drake.
Ali was known to be the best boxer of his time by many, and Cole is comparing himself to Ali. So basically saying that him, Kendrick, and Drake are the top 3, but he himself is number 1. Later in the verse, he had the lines, "Everybody steppers, well fuck it then, everybody breakfast, and I'm about to clear up my plate," which appears to be a reference to Kendrick's 2022 album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Then on March 22nd, 2024, Future and Metro Boomin released the album We Don't Trust You. On that album is the track Like That featuring Kendrick Lamar, and this is where things get more intense. The gloves come off, the subliminal shots are thrown out the window, and names are mentioned. Throughout Kendrick's verse, he disses Drake mainly, but also throws a shot at J. Cole in response to the first-person shooter verse. I've covered Kendrick's verse on a brief.
Perfectly scripted.
I'm gonna say, I deserve to be here because I signed Big Sean.
Kendrick or J. Cole? I love both teams. What? Both big guys relation behind the Cole's house, though. Kendrick been on for years. So you're making this personal.
It's 185 million records. Under good music. They made more money on my music than I did.
You showed up for them and you left on stage, right? And they don't feel you. Stay that long for good music, so yeah, it affected me personally. Most immediate rappers in the game, and if that doesn't make sense, because nothing about the situation makes sense. The other day, Big Sean appeared a freestyle on his snippet on Instagram, and many fans thought it was taking shots at either Kendrick Lamar or Kanye West with these records. Now, we're going to break down all the bars and why he could be possibly throwing subliminal disses at either Kendrick or Kanye. But it's important to remember that these are very indirect subliminal disses, if they are disses at that. So we have to take a step back and understand his relationship with both Kanye and Kendrick to really understand if these were genuine shots or if he was just kind of targeting any one of his haters. There's a lot of and both the bitter and that hit the breaks down guys like this. I would like to everybody else. And I think indirect, if they were shots or not, this didn't seem to matter to Kanye West or his fans because they were so upset at Big Sean even potentially having a thought of this Kanye that they decided to go online and leak his entire album. And the fan who leaked it claims that Kanye told them to leak it. And how Big Sean is dropping more snippets on Twitter and releasing music early because any plans of him releasing his actual album hijacked him by his Kanye fans and they put it online. Now, people's first assumption was that it was dissing Kendrick Lamar releasing his first came out. People assumed that he was trying to insert himself with that with Kendrick. And it's pretty simple. I thought that Big Sean and Kendrick have had a long-standing beef, and even the shots that Kendrick has sent Big Sean's way, about Sean really like Kanye. See, the two brothers came out around the same time in the early 2010s. With Big Sean actually starting his career and having success a little bit earlier than Kendrick. But that would quickly change when Kendrick Lamar drops his classic album, Good Kid, Mad City, and completely lapped Sean, becoming one of the biggest freshmen in the game. And their disdain towards each other is the fact that they fight for that top position within hip-hop. And this would become a common theme within this story and within Big Sean's career in general, as the main reason why he never reached the same level of success as Kendrick Lamar is because while Kendrick was releasing projects like Good Kid, Mad City, and Butterfly, Big Sean never released a classic project of his own. But he did drop an arguably classic mixtape in 2012 with Detroit, and Kendrick Lamar actually made a feature appearance on the record. So it's safe to say at that point in their careers, the two were on fairly good terms. And by 2013, Sean was gearing up to drop his second album, Hall of Fame. Now, a couple days before he released the album, he put out some tweets that said, "This one didn't make the album because of the sample, but it is not no radio stuff. It's straight rap. I'm talking 7 minutes straight. Grimy stuff. And it might have Kendrick and Jay Electronica on it too. 3 different type vibes on it." Then he tagged Kendrick Lamar and said, "Kendrick is so mad on that song." Sheesh. I wouldn't be laughing for too long, as the next day the song drops and it literally destroys the entire rap game, as Kendrick Lamar name drops nearly everyone who was big at the time, claiming that he's better than them and that he's trying to steal their fan bases. Now, if you guys haven't heard this song,
Kendrick rapped, usually homeboys with the same rappers I'm vibing with. This is hip-hop, and those rappers should know what it is. And that goes for Jermaine, Big Crit, Wale, Pusha T, Meek Mills, A$AP Rocky, Drake, Big Sean, Jay Electronica, Tyler, Mac Miller. I got all three walk on trying to people. Trying to make sure your fans never heard of you. They don't want to hear one word now. Now drop a like if you think the better rapper than Kendrick. But let's get back to it. Basically, this song got a response from the entire rap game, but no one was paying attention to Big Sean's verse. It was all about the controversy that Kendrick stirred up, like confidently named basically the entire rap game, including Big Sean, who saw him as and claimed that he wanted to murder them all. And this had every rapper shaking their back. Was tweeting out that if you can't rap any pronounced verbs, then you the craziest adjectives you've ever heard. It also garnered response tracks from Papoose, Big Crit, Fiasco, Meek Mill. J. Cole was tweeting about it. Pusha T was tweeting about it. Even Drake responded to the record. It changed the entire game, and the song completely overshadowed Big Sean's album release and really everything else at the time. And by the time Big Sean dropped that album, he sold 72,000 copies in his first week, which was considerably less than he sold with his album before that, and way less than his peers like J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Wiz Khalifa, Meek Mill, and Wale were selling at that time, as they were all selling over 150,000 copies first week, as they released in that era. So not only did that record put Big Sean in the bullseye by Kendrick, but it also put him in a much weaker position commercially than his peers at the time. The song was so big it even overshadowed Drake's massive Nothing But the Stain album release, as he was forced to be questioned about that controversy in multiple interviews, and he wasn't too happy about it. The verse was listen to it now at this point in time. It was real cool. Like, you know, but like they were actually present like as a person. Big Sean had a positive attitude on the song, and he said in interviews that he believed he held his own when he stood up with Kendrick and Jay Electronica on that record. But his whole Hall of Fame album was consumed budgets. And in an interview with Vibe, they asked him if he heard Kendrick's verse before he released the song. And he said, of course he did. I had my verse on there first. I sent it to Kendrick, Jay Electronica, and then Kendrick sent that verse back. So when I heard it, I was just kind of like cracking up. I was like, alright, that's what it needed to get back. It needed to get back to hip-hop and culture. He continued to say, Kendrick is my ultimate for all things, but it's also like, his verse, I wasn't about to go back and change my verse. That's cheating. I could go back and name drop. I could cut his verse out. But that's not the way of an OG. That's not how cheating. If three people want one song, someone's gonna have to stand up first, always. Whether it's All Me, whether it's Click, whether it's Control. Now sneaking All Me and Click in there as a Click, because Big Sean arguably did have the best performance on both those records. But even just weeks after Control dropped, Big Sean already had to start defending his performance on that track. And questions about that record would continue to haunt him for arguably the rest of his career. And in early 2015, he was asked about the record again, and he sang a bit of a different tune. If you guys don't remember Big Sean's reasoning for not putting it on the album, he claims was because of sample issues, but when he was asked why it didn't make the album again in 2015, he said, looking back on it, it was a different vibe than my album. There's a lot of negativity on that song, and I don't like negative stuff. People love drama, people love BS. I knew when Kendrick did that name dropping that it was just going to set it up. I can see why people gravitated towards that verse for that reason. I respected him for making it. I never want to shade anyone. It wouldn't have been good if I cut that out of his verse, or if I didn't put the song out. So this sounds like a little bit of a different reason than just sample issues. And a couple months later, Big Sean dropped a freestyle to Beyonce's song Me, Myself, and I, where he raps, y'all bragging about so-and-so, like, oh, he's really it? The new rapper in rap? Well, can he really spit? Or does he just hide behind his skits like half these rappers do? And then y'all go and praise him like he's the savior of hip-hop. Now, this would be the first in a long line of subliminals that Sean sends Kendrick's way. And when he was questioned about that release, he said that verse wasn't aimed at Kendrick, it was just aimed at the quote-unquote people. He said it wasn't even a diss to no rappers, it was a diss to the people. I feel like people get a little fuzzy-minded and brainwashed when it comes to like drama, or he said this, and they focus on that one little part, or the skits, and that ain't it. So you'll see later on in the story that Big Sean has a bad habit of dropping a sneak diss and then kind of walking it back just moments later. But even with this response, we could kind of feel his resentment towards Kendrick doing the name drops or the skits on his albums, and how people look at that as the reason why Kendrick is one of the greatest rappers in the game. Again, if you guys don't remember, at this point in Kendrick's career, he's gearing up to drop his second classic album, while Big Sean arguably doesn't have any classic albums. And the biggest moments of his career was that Control record, which got completely overshadowed by Kendrick. So you can understand where that jealousy, or at the very least that competitive nature stems from. But the two still seem to be on decent terms as they perform together at the end of 2015. By the year 2016, DJ Khaled got the two together on the song Key. So again, it seemed like they were on good terms, but on that record, Big Sean rapped in the same flow that Kendrick used on Control, and he rapped the bars, "Whoa, I hear a little bit of me and all your favorite rappers, you know it's true. I need my respect due." Basically claiming that some of the biggest rappers in the game were letting this flow. And remember these bars because the playing was in the bars that Sean rapped on his recent release, which people thought was taking shots at Kendrick. But in the meantime, we're still in 2016, and on October 31st, 2016, Big Sean drops his record Under Two. On that record, he drops more subliminal bars for Kendrick when he rap. And I can't lie, like I like this rap stuff like I usually do, and I'm not impressed by you rappers rapping fast. You sound like one big athlete talking trash when rapping you back. You put in your top line and think they're the same as rap. Now, I'm sorry, who else could Sean be talking about here besides Kendrick, right? Like, if you're talking top 5 at the time, that title could have went to guys like J. Cole, Drake, A$AP Rocky, maybe Mac Miller, but none of these guys were typically rapping fast except for Kendrick. And none of them were really regarded as his favorite rap as much as Kendrick was. And we're discussing Kendrick for that controversy in general. Going forward, Big Sean's comments just got more and more negative, or at least defensive. In 2017,
Sandy agrees. We cannot get the grade. Who's gonna finish this one before? Maybe Chew can handle it. Chew can't handle it.
Save that one.
Lose the security. It was just a plan. Ridiculous clinics to
he went to breakfast to promote his upcoming release. I decided, and Charlemagne told Big Sean that Kendrick watched him, and Big Sean said, "No, he didn't. Stop." And how long ago was that? What year was that? I still don't feel like I got watched anyways. He continued by saying, "That's your opinion. See, that's what I'm saying. You can't mess with some people's opinions. You know why? Because that's going to throw you off. You got to focus on what's at hand, what you feel in your heart." So again, instead of just acknowledging the massive moment that Kendrick verse was for hip hop, Big Sean had to just defend himself and reiterate that you can't listen to other people's opinions on rap better or who was the better rapper in general. And Kendrick seemed to wind of this defensiveness and all the sneak disses from Big Sean. And in April of 2017, just 1 month after Big Sean releases his album, Kendrick puts up a picture of the Roman Numerals 4 on his Instagram, and from there it was just up. That picture would be teasing the release of Kendrick's song called Your Part 4, which was riddled with sneak disses of Big Sean. In the first bars of the record, Kendrick rapped 30 million later papers the legendary status of a hip-hop onesie, directly referring himself to the savior of hip-hop, which in Sean's records, me, myself, and I in no more interviews, he was questioning why everybody thought that Kendrick was the savior of hip-hop. On the second verse of the
Another
record,
pussy that's scared to fight,
fans can't wait for me to son you,
that's running on each side of the ring and throwing cards. You're a faggot.
Now, this was definitely in relation to Big Sean.
Going to the other end of the map just to throw cards. And you Joker. You got so many combos. You didn't do none of them because you ass. You're fucking garbage. Another fucking weirdo. Like, fight. You Joker, bro. You a joke for real.
Thomas, Gerald, why are we fighting each other?
Saying that it wasn't related to Kendrick. He continued to reference all those walkbacks that Sean did by rapping, tiptoeing around my name, right? Yeah, you don't tell me it was just white. Then he raps the Sean effective by saying, "Oh, I was just playing K-Dog, come on, you know what?" Kendrick interrupts him by saying, "Shut the fuck up. You sound like the last person I know." I end up like the last person I know. Oh, you don't touch? I know. When he said you sound like that last person I know, he could be referring to Jay Electronica in that bar because Jay had previously dissed Kendrick in a video, calling him lame and saying that Kendrick was his son. He also said he didn't like any of Kendrick's music besides the song Cartoons and Cereal, but after Al Stone, one of Kendrick's label mates, had dissed Jay Electronica, he ended up backpedaling all these disses and posted a video stating that he would collaborate with Kendrick, showing that he didn't want any confrontation. So when Kendrick raps, "You don't want to clash," I know it could be referencing how Sean or Jay Electronica, both the former collaborators on that record Control, keep walking back any negative comments that they make with Kendrick. Kendrick then proceeds to rap at the mic, foot on the gas, head on the floor, popping up, vehicle crash. Well, here he's implying that his next album will be down. That's where Kendrick will put his foot down on the gas and go all out with Big Sean and hop out before the vehicle crash. Meaning that if they did go toe to toe, Kendrick would have won unscathed. And Kendrick really did almost crash out very shortly, but Kendrick continued to rap, yelling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, "I'm the greatest rapper alive, so damn great, I've died. What you're hearing now is a rapper alive." Now this could be a shot at both Drake and Big Sean, because on no more interview Big Sean rap, and I'm just not impressed by you rappers moving fast. You put in your top 5 and claiming they're the savior of rap. So Big Sean clearly stating here that he's not impressed with who everyone thinks is the savior of rap, and he's in that top 5. A year before the Drake also rapped on his track Rampy, saying that he's top 5 with debating. And then, just weeks before the release, he had a song called Galchester on his album Live, when he said, "No, I said top 5, but I'm really top 2, and I'm not 2. And just a couple days after Live was released, Kendrick Lamar tweeted out, "Mr. 1-1," basically implying that Drake, Big Sean, whoever's questioning who is top 5 or claiming they are top 5, they can put that to rest because Kendrick is clearly the best rapper in the game at that period of time. Now, the funniest part of the record is that many people believe it had the same sample.
Alright, that's not a dash. Tenor cracker.
The reason the song was on his album was because they could not clear the sample. However, Kendrick Lamar had no problem clearing the R4 and putting it on streaming platforms, even if it had the same sample that controlled it, proving that Big Sean probably had ulterior motives.
Weird as fuck.
Unfortunately, when Kendrick released Damn, we didn't get that crash out that he kind of promised us.
Didn't want to lose like a man. Get your faggot ass out of here.
Again, referencing that ad-lib that Big Sean was
Lose like a man.
To be humble, sit down. However, there was a massive diss that was meant for that album, which we'll touch on very shortly. But in the meantime, we got one more subliminal diss from Sean on his record with Metro Boomin called Big Business, where he said, "Nobody's sunning me. If I'm a son, I'm the one you look up to. F you." Again, very likely in reference to when Kendrick rapped.
Magically made foot stripes. Now that's magic. Magic's here.
Wait for me to sun you, punk, and crush all your little stuff. Now, at this point, we're in the year 2020. Both Kendrick and Big Sean have taken breaks from hip-hop since 2017 and haven't released albums since then. But Big Sean was gearing up to drop his album, Detroit 2. And on that record, he had a song